going on? This is My Life in the Show. I'm your host, Donald Washington. That was the homicide of Jamir McGee, 20 years old, June 11th in Calumet City on 600 block of Price Avenue. I'm going to bring you guys that. I'm going to bring you guys the footage out there on how they sat across from his grandmother's house, waiting for him to come home. When he came home, they jumped out. I'm hearing reports of 16 shots, 18 shots. Some say as many as 80 shots. Now, from the news footage, they interviewed his father, and his father's going to say that 3 of his friends dropped him off. However, nobody's saying anything about who did it, and that one of them allegedly returned fire on them cats. I'm going to bring you guys that. This was put up. If you have any information, call that number. I'm going to also bring you guys another body recovered from the Chicago River. From the river. They're saying the salt shed. I did reports back in 2019 and 2021 of the Chicago highway sniper, how over 430 highway shootings, and how I thought it was a serial killer on the highway. Now, in 2023, I've done report on report after bodies being recovered from the river. Another one today. All right, now let's get to this in Calumet City. That's the young man's picture right here. This is Zamyr McGee, only 20 years old. I'm going to bring you guys the story. It's going to say, Zamyr McGee, 20 years old, shot to death on the 600 block of Price Avenue, according to legal help firm, Calumet City, June 11th. The report is going to read, gunmen fired at least 18 shots, killing South suburban man in front of his grandparents' home. They let off so many shots, even inside his grandparents' home. Luckily, they wasn't hit. Today, I'm watching, once upon a time, it was 2, 3, 4 shots. Now, people are emptying whole clips, spraying into the whole crowds. 5, 6, 7, 8 people get shot. Unreal. One of the things I want to point out is, look at this. They sitting right across from his grandparents' house. How long were they sitting there waiting for him? Whoever it is, I believe, I wouldn't be surprised if they knew him, because they knew exactly where he was going to be. And it appears as if they waited on him to get home. And that's why in our community, that code of silence is crazy, because, you know, somebody know what happened. All right? And here's what happens. When no people get away with it once, they will be back a second, third, and fourth, and fifth time. We have to take matters into our own hands. I don't understand in our communities. How don't we understand ain't nobody coming to save us? We figure we can vote our way out this mess. Oh, let's get to them polls. Get to them polls. In fact, I believe it was they had a vote or die. Huh? As if it's matter of life or death, like as a politician, the way we vote is going to help us. But has that helped? In fact, our communities are getting much worse. Facts, the numbers don't lie. We have to figure out to do something else. If we don't save our communities, it won't get saved. I keep telling the story when I went to my cousin's crib. I pull up, and his neighbor who's walking the dog, let it be known, I'm watching you. He wrote my plate down and everything. His immediate neighbor came out, looked, and was like, looked at me like, who are you? And when I went in my cousin's crib, I looked back, and the dude walking the dog is still staring. And in fact, he turned his head, made it be known, yes, I'm watching you. And I said, cousin, how do you get used to this? He said, just ignore him. But I don't blame him. Look at that car pulled up. Now, nobody in the neighborhood probably knew that car. A new car on the block. And in our communities, we just walk right past. We just, strange people with masks on, sitting in the car. Oh, look, honey, there's somebody sitting outside in front of the house with a mask on. That's us. What I think we should do is get Ring doorbell cameras, and even let's just put up money. Each one of us put up money, and we just get Ring doorbell cameras on the side of each person's house, everybody's house. So therefore, when we see a car, when we see suspicious people, we can visit the Green doorbell camera a week, 2 weeks, a month ago, and say, wait a minute, there go that car right there. It rolled past that house 3 times. Oh, there go the license plate number. We got him. So they sat outside his grandparents' house. Calumet City, 20 years old. They're saying if you have any information, call the Calumet City Police, 868-2500-708, area code. Understand this, people. We got to take our communities back ourselves. We got to put our feet to the ground. When we see youngsters out there, we need to get on them. We need to help the police, because here, what the code of no snitching does. Now, I remember once upon a time, there was police officers, and there was one particular chasing me around and chasing us around. All right? I thank them to this day. When you stop somebody that got a pistol and you grab them and you lock them up, they go to jail. They learn, oh, dang, I could go to jail for a long time. It stops them from going out there and doing something much worse. Had it not been for one particular police officer and the community, it takes the community to stop one of them youngsters is for their own good. Sometimes locking some of these youngsters up is for their own good, because now they're like, yo, I could have really done something very bad. And had they been stopped before this happened, a life would have been saved. And who knows? If two cats get away with it, they'll be like, oh, that was easy. You know what? Next person that make me mad, next person that pissed me off, you know what? I'm going to wait outside their crib. I got away with it before. So this article is going to read another body recovered from a Chicago river near Salt Shed. I brought you guys a Chicago highway sniper. It was over 400 something shootings. No suspect, no motive, no clue. No gangbangers shot, no road rage, nothing. Just pew. It was women, children, ladies, teachers, postal workers, old ladies, children, men, and nobody saw nothing on the highway. I did a story where I thought that person, that Chicago highway sniper, was caught, and sure enough, we went from 3 a day to 1 a month. Chicago highway shootings. Now this year, every other day, there's a body being recovered from the river. The police is hush hush, not saying a word. But this is not normal. I have never seen a body being recovered every other week, sometimes 2 a week. This year in 2020, every other day there's a body being recovered. A female is the one that tipped me to the Chicago highway sniper. She said her uncle is an Illinois State police officer and they think it's a serial killer. And I'm the one that broke that story. And when I told people, it ain't my idea. This came from an ISP police officer. And nobody, oh, it's just gangbangers, just gangbangers. This is the same. This never happened. Last year, it wasn't a body being recovered every other week, every other day. Year before that, it ain't normal that bodies are just being recovered out the river. Somebody dumping them there. And the mainstream police officer, so that it doesn't create panic. They are not going to say, hey, there's a serial killer. We think it's a serial killer. They're going to go about their way. Yes, they may try to up the ante and try to get them, but they're not going to try to panic people. Anyway, it's up to us to stop the violence in our communities. We need to band together and do something. One of the things I think we can do is have a neighborhood watch. If you see a car on your block sitting there, write down the license plate just in case. Even put it in your phone, maybe even take a picture. It may be nobody, and you go about your business. But if you hear the next day, hey, there was a gray car sitting on your block, you can say, oh, I got him. I got him. Here's what you ain't going to do. I can name every community you're not going to go and do that on. Oh, you ain't going to go in my cousin's community and do that and get away with it. Oh, no, you not. You ain't going to go to Chinatown and get away with that. Oh, no, you ain't. No. You will not. You can try. You will get caught. If you jaywalk in his community, you will go to jail. You walk down the street with a mask on and a hoodie on. Excuse me, homeboy. Where you think you going? In our community, you can walk. I did a story where somebody walked a mile and a half, masked up, hooded up, 75, 80 degrees outside. And nobody said nothing. Anyway, go to YouTube, go to My Life in the Shy, My Life in the CHI. Peace, y'all.
City on fire, ooh, down to the wire. It's my life in the shy, ooh, it's my life in the shy.